Hey everyone, and welcome to the channel. My name is Ash, and today I'm taking a stroll down memory lane to look at UglyDolls and Imperfect Adventure on Xbox. Now, this was a game released by Outright Games, but it's unfortunately no longer able to be purchased on the Xbox store. But as I'm covering a ton of their games right now, I thought I'd look back at some of the old ones that I currently own that I bought for my kids a while back. So let's take a look, shall we? Ugly Dolls and Imperfect Adventure was released in 2019, developed by Wellplayed and published by Outright Games. It follows on from the Ugly Dolls movie, the animated movie that came out around the same time. Now, it doesn't follow the same plot, but it does involve a lot of the characters. And in this game, you play as one of two ugly dolls, and you basically have to avoid a whole host of robots that have obviously been let loose over Uglyville and are trying to make it perfect. And it's up to you and your friends, obviously, to save the town. Now, in the game, you get to control Moxy or Ox. So Moxy is the pink one, who was like the main character in the film. Ox being the one-eyed, sort of rabbit-looking doll. And you also get to team up with other ugly dolls such as Babbo, Icebat, Wage, and Ugly Dog. So there's a whole host of the characters from the films. There's a procedurally generated Uglyville to explore. So every time you play the game, it's always going to be different. So it's never laid out exactly the same. There's a whole host of robots chasing you, and the game also allows you to play it in single player or cooperative mode. Now, the aim of the game is simply speak to someone, get a quest, collect the items required for that quest, build item if needed for quest, complete quest, play short sort of cutscene story. Now, there isn't a lot to this game. It wasn't my favourite outright game, I'm not going to lie, but my kids enjoyed playing it at the time, and because we've been doing the 12 days of OG Xmas, we downloaded all the old OG games we had on our sort of system memory, and my daughter's been replaying this again and quite enjoys it, so I'm obviously not the target audience, she is. Now, what do I think of this game? Like I say, I don't particularly think this game is that great. Not in the sense that it's badly made or anything. Like I say, it looks really cool. Like I say, they've got like the 3D procedurally generated town looks nice. The 2D characters sort of really pop from the sort of page as such. They really stand out. Like everything bar the buildings is sort of like 2D, which looks really cool. Like the characters and some of the environments and the enemies. There's bright, colourful everywhere. Like I say, it hits you in the face with sort of colour and charm. My complaints about the game is the gameplay side of it is very repetitive, unfortunately. So, like I've said previously, this is basically one big fetch quest. You're either finding a person and bringing them back to your sort of house. You're finding the required amount of a certain item, which all end up being coins that you've got to find, loitered and littered everywhere from around the city, basically, in the town. Building certain items which require you to craft them with crafting abilities, and crafting items which you have to look around and learn and stuff like that, and finding crates. And that's it. It's just sort of rinse repeat until the end of the game. There's no other sort of mechanics to it. There are some light puzzle elements where you have to flick certain switches to make doors open with power and stuff like that, and there's fans to make you like blow you up onto the roofs and stuff. So your kids will enjoy it. It's not too stressful. It's not too brain taxing. But that's it. My problem was there wasn't much else to the game. And after going back and watching my daughter replay it, I don't think my overall opinion has changed. It's not the worst game out there. It's very sort of faithful to the film in terms of the sort of graphical style and the characters and everything. It's nice that it doesn't follow the plot of the movie, and it is a sort of brand new plot, and there's all these different enemies and sort of things to collect. And I like that it's procedurally generated, so every time you play it, something's going to be in a different area. Now, this may sound confusing, especially if you've got a lot of collectible items to get, like I've discussed. Luckily, there is an item you can build, which is basically a sort of balloon and a magnifying glass, and this, you set it off, and this will then point in the general direction of where you want to go and what you're looking for, basically. So it makes it very straightforward for the kids to play. Now, other than that, there's loads of fun little things to build. You can build like a ring to get you across water areas. You've got a hat which can help you with like a propeller on, which helps you sort of jump higher and get onto the top of buildings and sort of glide over areas. There's running shoes which make you go faster. There's juice that obviously refills your health and stuff like that. There's a variety of different items you can build and create to assist you in your quests. But the quests are pretty much the same sort of copy and paste across the entire game from start to finish. Now, there are 2 characters as well, which don't change the game at all. Like I say, if you play as one or the other, it doesn't make any difference to the plot. Like I say, you can play it 2-player, which definitely speeds the game up a bit because you can sort of dart all over the map. You don't have to stay close together, which is a nice touch as well. And overall, like I say, it wasn't the worst game I've ever played. It's a silly little sort of easy puzzle/collectathon game that your kids will probably enjoy. Overall, like I say, this game, to me, isn't the best game, but I am not the sort of target audience at all. My daughter really enjoys it. Like I say, the footage you're seeing now on screen is her playing it this week. She's really enjoyed it. I've helped her a few times play the game in certain areas just to get sort of tricky collectibles on top of buildings, or when she couldn't figure out the correct way to open a door with a lever puzzle. But other than that, 90% of the game she plays through absolutely fine and enjoys it. It's just a simple little puzzle game, and like I say, if you had the chance to play it when it came out, great. Nowadays, like I say, unfortunately, it's no longer available on any of the digital storefronts I could see. I know it's not available on Steam or on the eShop, and it's not on the Xbox store anymore, so you would have to buy it physically. But there are easy ways to get like the actual physical disc on Xbox. You can find them on sort of all sort of second-hand storefronts. Now, overall, like I say, you're going to get a fair few hours worth of content out of it. I think it took my daughter about 6 hours to finish it the first time, but you could probably blitz through it in about sort of 3 to 4 if you just wanted to rush through and, like I say, just not enjoy it as like a child would. But it's not a bad game. The music gets a bit repetitive and sort of might want to put some music on when you're playing it, but other than that, like I say, everything sort of works the way it should do. There's, like I say, loads of different types of quests. However, they are all sort of ultimately the same sort of thing. But the addition of the crafting, which adds all these extra items that you're able to play around with and assist with, and then revisit areas you've already visited once you've now unlocked those items, makes you have reasons to go back and sort of look around and explore and see what you can find, basically. So my daughter likes it. Your kids will probably like it, especially if they're fans of the animated film. Overall, a nice little game, really. Like I say, not for everyone, not for adults, but for your kids, absolutely perfect. But other than that, thanks for watching, guys. If you've enjoyed this, hit that like button, hit subscribe, and keep an eye on the channel because we've got a ton of Outright Games as content coming your way over the next couple of weeks. Thanks a lot, guys. We'll see you soon. Bye for now.